people are dramatic about their lives, but you really did have to raise yourself. Your father and mother were just not there for you. And I thought about this Britney Spears documentary.
I have so much empathy towards so many people. Paris Hilton came on the show, and you know, she had been institutionalized by her mom. And, you know, you think like Britney and Paris, and I've thought it for myself. I'm sure that people look on and think, these party girls, these privileges, how dare they have feelings about any of this? They've put themselves out there. They've asked for this. It's fair fucking game. And I just go, they're humans. They're just humans.
You mentioned Paris Hilton was on your show the other day, and she said something about that she was locked up and thrown into isolation.
Yeah.
And you said, oh, yeah, I know what that's like.
My mom put me in a place that was like a full psychiatric ward. I used to laugh at those like Malibu 30-day places. They talk about things that pissed me off. I was just like, a little spa vacation for 30 days, like in Malibu, was sort of the opposite of the experience I had. I was in a place for a year and a half called Van Nuys Psychiatric, and you couldn't mess around in there. And if you did, you would get thrown either in the padded room or get put in stretcher restraints and tied up.
Why were you so bad that you had to go in the padded room?
I grew up, you know, with like the Go-Go's and Wendy O. Williams and Blondie and all these like badass chicks. And I just sort of would like, you know, channel my inner riot girl. And I, you know, some days it was really funny. I would rile up all the girls and I'd be like, listen, fuck this place. These people don't care about you. Let's fucking show them. All right, everybody. I would totally rile the entire joint up. And it was like half a kid's facility and half like an old person's place. So like as I was like riling up these like young girls, like the woman in the walker would go by, it was hilarious.
How old were you?
13, and I was
13.
there for a year and a half.
Don't you think if your mother had been more equipped, if she had just sat you down and said, Drew, why are you so angry? What's wrong?
You know, I think she created a monster, and she didn't know what to do with the monster. And this was her last gasp, and I really was out of control, and I forgive her for making this choice. She probably felt like she had nowhere to turn. And I'm sure she lived with a lot of guilt for years about creating the monster. But then I think she lived in a lot of pain that I also wouldn't talk to her for a long time.
Are you talking to her now?
Yeah, we texted this morning.
Wow. No kidding.
Yep.
Good Lord.
I'm really glad there is healing there. And we have spent our whole lives trying to figure things out. I said to my own daughter, you know, she was like, something came up and I said, I'm not your friend. I'll never be your friend. I'm your mother. And I had a mother who was a friend, and we're not going to do that. I have so much more empathy now to being 46 and a mother of 2 girls. It's hard. And I raised my girls so much more traditionally and quietly and very protectively. And it's such an antithesis to my upbringing. But I can't have her feel bad anymore. I'm sure she's already beat the crap out of herself for having a daughter who wouldn't speak to her. I mean, the pain that I went through from that, I felt so guilty denying my mom access to me. It felt like I was cutting off the source of life. It was as hard of a feeling as I've ever experienced, definitely the worst pain I've ever known. And I just thought, I have to let this go. Like, what is this doing for either of us? I think she's old enough now to be in a different place in her life. And I know the changes that I've made and how long they took. I know that's possible for people. So why not her too?